So if you're thinking about getting your tooth pulled out, if you have to have it pulled out, or if you are someone that has had a tooth pulled out, this video is for you. So I'm an Ayurvedic practitioner, right? So I was taught from the very beginning that nothing exists for nothing, meaning there's nothing in your body that's useless. Everything has a purpose, including your teeth. So each tooth is connected to something. It's connected to an organ, or if it's not physical, it'll be connected to something emotional, something symbolic. It'll be connected to your mental body. And if you lose that tooth, if you have it pulled out, then it weakens something in your body. So that's something I always had in my mind. It's something that always worried me because I was actually born with missing like a few adult teeth. And I had my baby teeth, and I had some of my baby teeth that stayed because there were simply no adult teeth to replace them. So I've always been extra cautious, and I'm like, I have to keep all my teeth, and it's not good if I lose one. So all that to say, I had to lose two. So I had to have two extracted like not too long ago. So I went abroad to do that. So I had two extracted to replace them with implants. And I'll have a separate video where I explain my journey, because I know a lot of people do this. A lot of people have questions about how it works and all that. So I'll do a separate video about that. So about what I want to talk about, the two teeth that I had extracted. So I went like reluctantly, and I was, really sad and grieving, like, okay, this is going to weaken me. But it was the opposite that happened, actually. It was super interesting because the two teeth I had pulled out were on my left side. So it was my premolar and my canine. Now, the premolar is actually a baby tooth that just never fell because there was no adult tooth to push it out. So I had to have it removed because it started decaying, because I already had a cavity on it from when I was younger, and then the filling got replaced, and all in long story short, it just started decaying and I had no choice. So they extracted it, and then they realized that that decaying tooth started affecting the root of my good canine, and my canine is an adult tooth. So it affected its root, so they had to pull it out too. So those two got pulled out. Now, both of these teeth were on the left side. If we ask what's the left side of the body, the left side is the feminine side of the body. So it's the mother lineage. So our capacity to receive love, to receive support. And when there's something wrong on the left side, it's usually linked to, inherited emotional baggage, so burdens, things like that. And curious enough, it's stuff that I had struggled with for so long in my life, just carrying things that are not mine to carry. These are patterns related to self-worth, boundaries, things that I kind of struggled with growing up. Premolars are symbolic of how we digest emotional experiences. And when I say digest emotional experiences, I mean being able to digest them with maturity, with emotional maturity. And that is also something I had struggled with. So there was something there, When we're talking about a decaying premolar, it suggests something you held on to for way too long. So it's an outdated survival mechanism. It's resentment or unprocessed emotional labor, basically. You can kind of think of it as something that you should have chewed and let go of, but instead got suppressed. Now, the infected root of an adult canine, which is the tooth that was beside it, a canine represents instinct, power, protection, and boundaries. So that was affected. Now, if we translate all of that, it's like if it was a suppressed emotional pattern that rotted my ability to fiercely protect myself. The infection didn't stay localized. It spread to my inner power, my inner protector. So I kind of had to lose both to reclaim myself. Interesting is that when a tooth has no successor, it often reflects something that was never meant to be carried forward, right? It's either like a role, a pattern, emotional imprint that's supposed to end with you. And that's what happened in my case. For many patterns, many things that I had carried that, there was no reason to be. It just had to be, it had to end with me. And with that tooth, it's like something that I held on to for way too long, and it just started decaying because it's like, okay, I can't hold this anymore. So that was very interesting. So that tooth spent years trying to digest emotions that I never really had words to speak, right? It kind of sat in my mouth like a placeholder. Yeah, placeholder for pain that I inherited but never agreed to keep. It's just something that I did, right? And you don't know what you don't know. So there was like no adult version coming to take its place, no evolved form of protection. Just like there were, just like there was no one coming to rescue that part of me that clenched her jaw every time she was told to stay silent. So I drew a lot of parallels, and how I was able to do that is after the surgery, actually. When it was done and I was sent to my hotel, like less than an hour later, I thought I was going to start feeling, the pain of, just the painkillers wearing off and stuff, but no, there is no pain. Instead, I felt such a release. It was, 2 small teeth that they pulled out. But behind my premolar, where that tooth was, the energy behind it was massive. It was such a relief. It was like, I don't know how to explain it. It was energetic / like it felt like air passing through, like it was a release. It was old energy just leaving my body, and it lasted a good, I would say 15 to 25 minutes, where I was just sitting and I was just there. I was just witnessing it because there was nothing left to hold. And I'm like, that little tooth was holding so much. And I never knew. And it's actually something I was trying to hold on to, again, without knowing what I was doing. So yeah, I let it go. Not just the tooth, but the part of me that thought she had to keep holding whatever had no future, basically. So, I mean, it's stuff that I knew in my mind. It's stuff that I had already worked through, but there was still energetic residue. Like there was something that still needed to leave the body, and it was the tooth. So anyways, I just wanted to share my experience. If anybody has a similar story or any questions or anything, really, because this is really important. The body shows us so much. It holds so much. It tells a story. And sometimes it's like screaming for us to pay attention.